आप सबका स्वागत है आज तक में। मैं हूं अनीता ब्रिटो और आज मेरे साथ है एक मजेदार आउटस्टैंडिंग एंड अमेजिंग कास्ट ऑफ चुप। हेलो, वेलकम दुलकर, श्रेया एंड पूजा मैम। हेलो। फर्स्टली मुझे ये बताना है कि ट्रेलर बहुत ही इंट्रीगिंग है एंड इट्स समथिंग वेरी आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स, वेरी डिफरेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस। आई विल कॉल दिस ट्रेलर वेरी इंट्रीगिंग। आप कैसे ये ट्रेलर को डिफाइन करेंगे?
मैं ये टर्म इस्तेमाल करूंगी, बट आई थिंक इट इज़ सर्टनली आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स और एक न्यू काइंड ऑफ एनिमल है जू में। इस फिल्म और इस ट्रेलर का रेफरेंस पॉइंट किसी के पास है नहीं, तो अभी आप इसे स्वागत करें या ठुकराएं।
कर लिया है हमने।
हाँ, वो that's actually, yeah, so I think that it's not trying to be different, it's not trying to be liked, it is what it is.
Right.
And it's a great relief to be part of work which is not trying too hard. And it stands out because of the obvious, you know.
Yes.
तो मैं भी एक और क्लीशे नॉन क्लीशे इस्तेमाल करूंगी। आई थिंक इट्स हटके, है ना?
परफेक्ट वर्ड, परफेक्ट। बट ये हटके ना, ट्रेलर देखने से पहले सबको लगा था, जब अनाउंस हुआ था आपका कास्ट, पूरी कास्ट को सिर्फ सुन के ऐसा लगा था ये हटके होने वाला है। जब आप लोग को आया था ये स्क्रिप्ट, आपका कैसा रिएक्शन था? एंड व्हेन यू ऑल गॉट टू नो दैट ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल आर टुगेदर, सनी देओल, यू, एवरीवन।
I think I was really surprised that Balki sir was making something like this. It's not like any of his films. It's not like any other film. It's such a fresh, sort of authentic idea. You know, it's not inspired from something or somewhere. So I love that he was going to make something like this. I was quite surprised that he considered me for the film. I was like, sir, really? You want me to do this? But I think as soon as he narrated it, it was on Zoom. It was during lockdown. I instantly knew I wanted to be a part of this film. And it's always exciting when filmmakers and actors try to surprise the audience by doing, something that's new, not expected of them, and outside of their comfort zone. So all of that usually excites me a lot, and I was super thrilled to be even considered. It was
I think your fans were also not expecting this.
Yeah,
that
so
you would do a role something like this.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that I'm kind of surprising them, and they can't predict what I'm going to do next. So this really fit into my sort of wish list of type of cinema that I wanted to do. And each and every cast member that was part of the film. And every time I'd hear who's playing which role, I think I just kept getting even more excited. I've grown up, watching Pooja ma'am and Sunny sir. I keep mentioning this one laser disc we have at home of Dil Hai Ki Manta Nahi.
What?
Yeah, sorry, laser disc is a big image, big picture. And I used to have the biggest crush on you, and I used to love looking at it. So whenever they would go through the LDs, I spend a little extra time gawking at you at that time.
How sweet. I'm blushing.
You're matching your outfit.
Right. Sure.
तो मेरे लिए एक्चुअली मैं बहुत खुश हुई थी व्हेन द फिल्म वाज ऑफर्ड टू मी, कि मुझे टाइम लगा कि ये सिंक इन होने में कि स्टोरी एक्चुअली क्या है, कि ये थ्रिलर थी और कास्ट ये है, क्योंकि आई वाज सो एक्साइटेड दैट आई वाज गोइंग टू बी वर्किंग विद मिस्टर बाल्की. Then I find out that it's going to be Pooja Bhatt. Then I find out it's going to be Sunny Deol. Then I find out it's going to be Dulquer Salmaan. I mean, it just kept getting better. So I still can't believe that I'm here promoting this film.
And you're romancing him. So
I know, and I'm romancing her off screen, so it's great.
What a combination.
Oh God. Yeah, I think that's going to be Chup Part 2 is when me and Shreya elope together.
Wow, that's a great thing.
But I think they've said it. I think Shruti Mahajan, जो casting agent है, casting director है, she had actually put me on the Bombay Begum's journey. And I got a call from her saying, Pooja, I have something very exciting for you. So I said, Shruti, I'm sure whatever you call me for will be exciting. And she said, okay, our Balki is directing it. तो मैंने कहा कि sign क्या करना है, पता है? Because I mean, I've loved his films, and I think that he's a truly sharp human being. I love his mind and his aesthetics as well. And she said, okay, can we do a Zoom call? Did a Zoom call. In 5 minutes, he told me that Dulquer's part of it. He told me you're part of it. And then Sunny, I said, wow, I haven't worked with Sunny for 25 years. And then he said, look, I don't want to sell you the film. I want to send it to you कि आप पढ़ोगे क्या. So that in itself shows you a great deal of confidence in a filmmaker who trusts you with his baby, not knowing whether you're on or not. Right. And he emailed me the script. I started reading and I couldn't put it down. I loved it so much. So I called him. I said, this is a no-brainer. I mean, I'd be foolish if I don't do it. So I was very lucky. 2021 was a great year for me. I mean, I released Bombay Begums and I had signed Chup and I was on set with them. So, and Romancing You Off Screen, which continues, darling, into 2022 and will go further. But I think, I mean, I'm just very lucky. I'm just I think spring has arrived in my backyard and I'm enjoying it.
You are enjoying and your fans are very happy to see you
I'm
on
very
screen.
grateful. I'm really grateful for that. I truly am. I think that, जब 21 साल और या 22 साल के बाद I'm going to be in the cinema hall. So I'm so grateful to Balki for that. Because my last feature film was Zakham and then everybody says I'm fine. So I think OTT पे हाँ मेरी पैदाइश हुई थी डैडी के through. Yeah, but I mean to go back to the movies is a privilege. शायद हमारी जनरेशन को ये ज़्यादा समझ में आता है कि कितना बड़ा privilege है to say that in cinemas on 23rd September. So I'm just joyous. So thank you to everybody who's who keeps saying that why did you stop and continue.
They were also disappointed when they didn't get to see you in Sadak. So
And rightfully so.
आवाज आ रही थी सुनाई दे रहा था हमें और
एक बार आई थी.
एक बार
2 बार आई थी.
आप आए थे
आवाज आई
आवाज
थी.
हाँ
Yeah,
just
आवाज आई थी.
तो yeah but ये ना it's like I said it's very unique story but critics को बहुत डरा चुके हैं ये ट्रेलर ही डरा
उसमें कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. वो थोड़ा डरना चाहिए उनको. हम भी डरते हैं वो भी डरे. हम एक ही इकोसिस्टम के हैं तो क्यों हम डर सहते रहेंगे और बाकी जो है डराएंगे नहीं ना. It should be a give and take relationship. We believe in equality and all of that.
right but during your time critics were not this judgmental. Were they?
Always judgmental but there were fewer critics. अभी क्या होता है एक पब्लिकेशन में 3 क्रिटिक्स बैठे होते हैं और कभी कभी एक को अच्छा लगता है एक को नहीं लगता है तो यू आर नॉट क्वाइट श्योर हु यू आर सपोज टू टेक सीरियसली. बट आई फील कि देखिए भट्ट साहब ने मुझे एक चिट्ठी लिखी थी जब मैं अपनी डायरेक्शन का करियर शुरू कर रही थी पाप. एंड ही सेड आई विल गिव यू एन एडवाइस ऑन हाउ टू डील विद क्रिटिक्स. सो ही सेड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी आर पार्ट ऑफ द सेम इकोसिस्टम. एंड ही सेड बेटा जब ये मच्छर आके आपको काटता है तो बुरा नहीं लगना चाहिए. Because it's not biting you because it has anything personal against you. It needs your blood. And I think that was a great way to put it. And I'm not trying to put anyone down. So I think more than most, people have been very generous to me. And I think criticism is very important. क्योंकि हमारी एक tendency है कि हम एक entertainers, narcissistic, एक bubble में बैठ जाते हैं. मगर जब भी critics भी ये महसूस करना शुरू करते हैं कि वी आर गॉड एंड फिर वो तारीफ ऐसे डोल आउट करते हैं कैसे वो मतलब किसी को भीख दे रहे हैं तो आई थिंक वो भी थोड़ी ज्यादती है. सो आई फील दैट इट इज अ गिव एंड टेक रिलेशनशिप बट आई थिंक द जेनरोसिटी टू बी एबल टू सी थिंग्स फॉर व्हाट दे आर, से व्हाट डजंट वर्क बट प्रेज दैट वन थिंग दैट वर्क्स ना. आप छोटा नहीं हो जाते वो चीज करने से. सो आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम. Please criticize me. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. I thrive on it.
What about you? What do you think? For both of you.
I like what just got me thinking, which I drifted off when Pooja mentioned that now every publication has multiple critics and there's zero accountability. So if you even ask, hey, is this is what your critic wrote, and they'll always pass it on to this is from our this office or this is from that office. So I said that doesn't matter. It's still under your name, under your publication. So it's become like it's so free to say anything you want and you still get away with it. And as artists we have to keep sort of accepting that this is the norm. People can misread you, misinterpret anything and put out anything you want. So I think as I've been growing up as an actor, it was very difficult for me in the beginning. I used to take everything very personally. But this very bad habit I have of obsessively reading, criticisms and negative comments, that continues. But also I think I derive some kind of drive from it. Like I feel like I push myself harder. I want to prove myself more. I want to make bold choices. I'm sure choosing a film like Chup was influenced by some past criticism that I do maybe a certain type of cinema and I don't experiment or try different roles in films. So definitely, I think those influences are there. So I think you take there are some positives you take away from it, and the negatives. It's tough when it's personal, when they get personal, and you can request people not to get personal, but that just seems to be how the game is played. And we have to grow thick-skinned, but like Balkisa said, artists are generally thin-skinned. So it's yeah.
मेरे हिसाब से when you're creating something, any type of art, and you're putting it out there for the world to see, for public consumption, I think it's only fair that there's going to be criticism, और उस art को criticize किया जाएगा, and that people will have an opinion. So I'm really fine. I'm really fine with people having their opinions. But I read this line. Hey Bhagwan, he has to say this every single time.
She's a critic's favorite. Has never received a negative criticism ever. So
you haven't arrived until you got a really bad review.
so she's never got a bad review. So her response to this question always is, it doesn't really bother me. Like, all art forms should be critical.
अभी हम 2-3 साल और बात करेंगे then
जैसे कहते हैं कि जब तक आपको एक बहुत ही वाहियात रिव्यू नहीं मिला है और जब तक आपकी एफएजी को जला नहीं गया है, you have not arrived.
जलाया नहीं.
My aim is basically that now. I'll change my aim. No, but what I meant to say.
Aside and a disclaimer, because बहुत ही woke times में रहते हैं. Chup is a dark film, so my humor is dark, keeping with the feel of Chup.
After you said the mosquito and the blood thing, I think everybody got it. Huh? You don't need to explain the darkness bit. Yes. No, but what I meant to say before this gentleman said what he had to say is, I read this line somewhere and I think that is true. Honesty without tact is just cruelty.
Absolutely.
So I think there's a way of expression. So I'm all okay for critical prose of whatever art you want to bring out, but there is a way to do it. There's a manner of expression.
Right.
That's all. Beyond this, I will change my
But
aim now.
we'll talk on this topic after 4-5 years more, जब आपको एक थोड़ा और reviews आएंगे.
जब ये कागज के फूल का एक रेफरेंस है, there is no greater example of the fact that the audience does not know on occasion and the critics never know perhaps. और जिस फिल्म को डिराइड किया गया था, एक जीनियस के करियर को कम्प्लीटली मतलब बुझा गया था, और अभी आप उसी फिल्म को उसी जीनियस को क्लेम कर लेते हैं. तो हमारी सोसाइटी की भी एक खासियत है कि लोग जब भी मर जाते हैं उसको बहुत प्यार देते हैं, और जब ये जिंदा है तो उसके ऊपर फिर पत्थर फेंकते हैं. सो द पॉइंट इज़ वेरी ऑफन you're ahead of the curve and people don't get it. अभी मेरे साथ ये बहुत हुआ है कि जिस फिल्म के लिए बहुत अच्छे रिव्यूज़ मिले हैं वो बॉक्स ऑफिस पे उसने ₹1 भी नहीं कमाया है, और जिनके बहुत ही वाहियात रिव्यूज़ आए हैं, that has gone on to kind of feed me and fuel me and keep me on my feet to be able to make more films. तो who's to say? तो वक्त से बड़ा, समय से बड़ा कोई क्रिटिक होता नहीं है. If your work sustains in 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, then you're relevant. वरना सोडा वाटर की तरह तारीफ सुन लो, क्रिटिक्स ये पेपर पढ़ लो या जो भी होगा, and then एक ज़माने में उसी पेपर में लोग भेलपूरी खाते थे. So you don't take it so seriously. You don't take the praise very seriously. You're very grateful for it. Eventually वो जो जाके टिकट खरीदता है ना खुद के हार्ड अर्न पैसे से, that person decides your fate. Nobody else. Not a person whose livelihood depends on your livelihood. And like I said कि हम एक ही बोट में हैं. मैं नहीं मानती हूँ कि मैं अलग हूँ और हम अलग हैं और critics और observers और journalists अलग हैं. We are part of the same medium, the same media, and we are on the same side. So let's just be a little kind to each other.
I was just going to ask you this. आपके फिल्म्स में से, जो पास्ट फिल्म्स में से, ऐसा कौन सा फिल्म आपको बहुत पसंद आया बट क्रिटिक्स ने बहुत मतलब हाँ फिल्मोग्राफी में आप दोनों से, well you thought that it is absolutely brilliant but then critics had some
I'm quite realistic. I'm quite aware of which films of mine may be problematic or didn't reach its full potential. So it's not been very off. I don't think. I mean, sometimes critical reviews and box office there's a mismatch. Sometimes people don't like a certain type of cinema, but the audience likes it.
Yeah.
We're all aware of movies like that. But I think most of my films, more or less, it's been as
Really?
actors, no critic can tell me about my film that I don't already know.
but one film ऐसा कुछ है आपके करियर में that
Maybe Solo. I think that had a lot more potential.
That's one of my favorite.
I know, but
I swear.
I know.
If you ask me to pick one film of his that I wish I did as him, it would be Solo.
Maybe, but it wasn't a film that was received well at that time.
I disagree with the critics.
Well, I think that the earliest film, if I go back, Sadak was a super hit, but it got terrible reviews. और वहाँ उस ज़माने में there was a big divide between the English speaking media and the Hindi speaking media. The Hindi media gave us glowing reviews. The English speaking media thought कि बहुत ही vile है because बहुत सारा खून है and it's too violent for our aesthetic sensibilities. Oh no, Mr. Bhatt, what's wrong with you? It was a super hit film. आज भी लोग आके मुझे टिकट दिखाते कि देखो हमने कॉलेज बंक करके या जो 53 टाइम्स देखी है जो भी होगा, you know, so it's a cult film. Me and Sanju were in shock. We did not expect it to do as well as it did. Dil hai ke manta nahi got very good reviews. Didn't do as well at the box office. Zakham got the worst reviews, and nobody went to the theater to watch it, but it's a classic film. And as a producer of the movie, finally, 22 years later, I've made money by selling it on digital. So the point is that it's a relevant film. So relevance jo hai na, that is something that you can't decide. I think it's more relevant today, and I got my second national award from an NDA government for best film on national integration. Who would have thought? But it happened. And the point is that, you know, there's some, like he said, okay, what is well received by the critics is not necessarily well received by the viewers. But I believe that the audience is far ahead. जब ये बॉर्डर बनाई थी हमने, मुझे याद है पूरी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री ने ट्रायल देख के जेपी दत्ता को कहा था कि ये फिल्म बिल्कुल चलने नहीं वाली है, आपके सेकेंड हाफ में 40 मिनट का सिर्फ वॉर ही चल रहा है, व्हाट इज दिस? एंड दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट द ऑडियंस इज लव्ड. तो हमारी वर्स्ट क्रिटिक्स एक्चुअली प्रोफेशनल क्रिटिक्स नहीं है या unprofessional, whatever you want to call them. It is the film industry. It is the professionals. It's people within your own coterie who will tell you कि नहीं ये तो नहीं चलने वाला है, और वो ही जाके चलती है. Yeah. So I think I've said my piece.
Okay, जाते जाते आप ऑडियंस से क्या कहना चाहते हैं? But before you all go, I have to ask you this. There's a lot of talks about Alia Bhatt's baby shower. Anything that you would like to share with us?
No.
See, I knew that. I knew that. But we are really happy.
Well, we are all very happy. Obviously, there is going to be, you know, another child of light in the world in that sense. But about the baby shower, I have no clue. And if I had clue, I would not give you any clue, because it's just not in my nature to talk about somebody else's life unless I have been told to. And that's the way we Bhatts operate with each other.
Okay, final word for the audiences, what to do, when to watch Chup and everything.
Our film Chup releases on 23rd September, which happens to be Cinema Day, जहाँ पे सारे tickets are only 75 rupees. So grab your friends, your family, and whoever else you want to grab, and go and see Chup.
Releases in theaters on the 23rd of September, you know, across India, the Middle East, America. So all of you do check it out. You cannot predict the film from the trailer. I know you love the trailer. I think the film is a lot more. It's also very entertaining. So, you know, go watch it. Let us know what you think. We can't wait for release.
Absolutely. I think उन्होंने सब कुछ कह दिया, मगर मैं ये कहूँगी कि चुप देखिए, वरना प्लीज हमेशा के लिए चुप हो जाए. And I say that with great love. I love you guys. Thank you for loving the trailer. Thank you for responding the way that you did. And मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि आपको ये फिल्म बहुत अच्छी लगेगी, क्योंकि genuinely एक new animal in the zoo है. And it will give you a new experience. चाहे आपको अच्छी लगे या नहीं, मगर आप ये नहीं कह पाएंगे कि हमने ऐसी फिल्म कहीं ना कहीं देखी है. तो और क्या, इससे और क्या, अभी जान लेंगे क्या इसके बाद.
Great. Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely talking to you all, and all the very best for Chup. Thank you.
Thank you.